I want to welcome you all to the kickoff event of the 10th Indian Film Festival.
And we'll see you tomorrow for opening night!
When I am in front of the camera, I'm totally different person. And production is like a totally different world.
It's our responsibility and our job to continue talking about the films that they don't want us to talk about.
He trusts his actors greatly. That's the great thing about Shyam. He doesn't consider it his duty to teach you how to act. He lets you be and comes in with a little suggestion now and then. And you can always feel his presence, and that's very comforting.
I learned only one thing in life, always say yes. Figure out later how to do it.
How did you feel we fit in as a film organization representing South Asian, film and indie film in the, very busy spectrum of Austin and independent film?
You were the missing piece.
The communities of color in Austin are so underdocumented, and we need to make sure that we are represented in the archival history. Because with the archives, people can look back and say, oh, these are the folks who actually made an impact in Austin. These are the folks who helped build Austin and build Austin's arts community.
The Indie Meme Archival Project started in 2023 with the goal of archiving the work of our organization, as well as the South Asian independent cinema community here in Austin. We're doing this by going through our old posters and flyers, videos and photos from film festivals in the past, and turning them over to the Austin History Center's permanent collection.
We were like just about independent film from India. It was about film distribution, and it became about bringing every indie filmmaker's work in front of an audience that would appreciate their work.
20 years ago, there were no South Asian festivals, so I think independent filmmakers, we need these festivals because it helps us with distribution. That's the purpose that it serves, is it helps the filmmakers get recognition and get people to know that our film exists.
But then we realized that very clearly we were gravitating towards socially relevant cinema or social cinema or meaningful stories.
What I really love about the films that Indie Meme presents is sometimes they really are a mirror to us as a society, and they force us to face certain issues that otherwise would not be talked about.
I do tell every person that I know about the Indie Meme and ask them to come and watch, because the themes are fantastic. I feel this is a sharp contrast to the Bollywood film.
Independent South Asian films, they provide windows to the rest of the world to sort of peep into the realities which are happening there, and through which the people of the world become empathetic towards that region.
We live in fraught times with a lot of divisiveness around. It's very hard for people to have conversations when they have differing viewpoints. But when you're talking about films, somehow the conversation becomes easier.
Each screening that we did, and we did a discussion post-screening, and you saw how people were talking, they were chatting, their reactions, and it just made you feel good that, we're bringing something that's different, and it's making people think in a different way.
I've been impressed from the beginning with your organizational skills, your care, and your supervision at Tripty also.
They were seeking grant money, and we had a fiscal sponsorship program that enabled them to apply for their first grant. They were very well prepared when they walked in the door, more than any other small arts organization that I had encountered.
Our intent is to to ignite a conversation, yeah, and bridge communities through cinema.
A lot of people met other like-minded people at the indie meme screenings, and till today they're friends. That's why they met.
One of the harder things for those of us who are here and have children who were born here and are being raised here is how they connect with their South Asian identity. And, obviously we all make our best efforts, but this general sense of what that culture means in a modern context, right? To give them a deeper understanding of that, I think that's one thing indie meme films have done for our family.
Growing up with meaningful cinema just opens up your mind, and as a human being, you change. So that's how communities should be built.
Daughter-in-law that's Indian, for me it's been a way to learn about India for my grandkids.
That impact that indie meme has had, and I think in Austin it just helped keep the culture more diverse and rich. And that impact is what I think is really important people to keep in mind when they're writing a check.
We really encourage you, if you have a moment, to go into the reading room and listen to the oral histories that we have from indie meme.
Indie meme.
Indie meme.
Indie meme.
Indie meme.
Indie meme.
Once a story is told, it's not done. It's there. You can always go back and see what it was about.